God.
Entertainment news today. It's such a dragon gay. Everything sucks and it's no good. That comes out of Hollywood. There's one place you can go to get all your news and info, and maybe even have a laugh or two. You know it's true. Midnight's Edge after dark is life. We stand for nerds and geeks, we will survive. From Star Wars to Jurassic Park, it's Midnight's Edge after dark. All those bombs and flops, but need never stops. We will keep going through the night as we keep up the culture fight. Midnight's Edge after dark is life. We stand for nerds and geeks, we will survive. From Star Wars to Jurassic Park, it's Midnight's Edge after dark.
Good Thursday evening. Welcome to the program. Brought to you by Soul Glow. That's right. Let your soul
glow.
glow.
You know, I've
Okay.
never used that, Tom.
Of course, neither have I.
Well, not in my hair anyway. Not in my head.
Yeah. Somebody who can use it, though. 32 flavors of Nick Weiser.
Hello, how's it going, dudes? Happy to be here. Some
Indeed.
news came out today. Some news that actually is not good came out today, and we're gonna crush those convenient arguments about it and other things. But hello, Tom. Hello, 70s, and hello, Chad.
Hello.
Is there ever any good news that comes out of Hollywood? And hello, 70s rock fan as well. How you doing, Brian?
Good evening. I'm doing very well, thank you. It's a pleasure. It's always a pleasure to be here with you guys.
Just like double mint gum.
That's right. It's nice to be bookended by you two guys. Just the
Aw,
three of us.
that's the nicest thing anybody's ever said to me getting pegged.
You know, I saw a news headline today that said that they can now create in vitro babies with three parents. So I didn't even read the rest of it. I thought, brave new
Oh
world.
my.
Here we are. Brave new world. So we could be the three parents of a baby.
What would we call it?
Well, I mean, we can't call it, we could call it Lemmy, but then that's Dick's dad. Maybe that would be, we shouldn't name
Yeah,
it
that's
after Nick's
true.
dad.
Well,
Okay.
I mean, it is an homage.
That's a good idea. What could we call our child? The love child of Tom, Nick, and myself. It would have some wool. Obviously, wool would be a part of it. It would be a bit.
It would only have half a head of hair, though.
I would have a lot of hair, just not in its head.
This is true. This is true. I like almost put Robin Williams to shame in some ways. Goddess of Whim, not quite though. Sends in some love for Clobberin' Times. Thank you, Goddess of Whim, sending in $2. We appreciate that. Soul Nightmare says with 2, Superman is holding well, just gained 140 theaters. Yeah, although they haven't done much updates for overseas numbers yet, there's something going on, and it had a big boost on Tuesday. Jumped up to 17 million because of the cheap shows.
It had a boost.
It's doing well, America, on the weekdays. And trust me, I didn't think it was going to go that high. I was like, oh, it'll do fine during the weekdays, but it's still the weekdays. And I saw 12 million on Monday, and then 17, and then 11 yesterday. I'm like, wow. So we're talking 41 million from those 3 days on the weekday. So it's on pace to do 50 million, maybe 51, maybe 52 at most through Thursday. And I'm like, so that should give you a clear indicator that this movie will probably have somewhere between a 50 and 55% second weekend drop. It won't be like Man of Murder, which had 65%. It'll maybe at worst 60, but it won't be Man of Murder 65. So hey, not bad, all things considered, considering that it's got a big uphill battle.
Yeah. Well, we'll see how it rolls in the next few days and this weekend. But let's say hello to the folks we got out in the chat. We got Action Com, we got Goddess of Whim, we got Dead Man, we got Daryl Brewer in the house. How you doing? We got Russman. We got, let's see, Phoenix Knights here, JRR24, Crunts Punts is here, Anthem 21X. Let's see here. We got Bryant Barth here. We got Ulysses 31. J is here. Just the letter J. Out of Balance. Vortigern is here. Welcome. And Batmanuel. And he says, thought it couldn't get any worse than Stallone's Judge Dredd, didn't you? Well, in this day and age, I don't put nothing past Hollywood. But we'll get into that in just a little bit. We have some other things to talk about, like trailers. We got a Mortal Kombat trailer, and we got a Tron Ares trailer. So where would you gentlemen like to start?
Let's start with Mortal Kombat.
Why not?
Mortal Kombat!
Do it.
Fight.
Johnny Cage, Sonya Blade.
Indeed. We definitely got it looks like an improved film from the first movie, because I didn't hate the first one. I mean, of course, the movie hasn't come out yet. We don't know. It could suck, but what we are getting is some good looks at a sequel, and it seems like they may have taken in some of the criticisms, and some people just ain't going to be happy no matter what.
Oh, God, yeah.
But one thing I found
recently
very interesting was that Johnny Cage has his own IMDb page.
That's great, actually. I don't care what side of the aisle you're on with this movie. That is hilarious.
So so for those who can't actually see it here, let me try to read it for you. Oh, we got somebody else joining us. Oh, it's Script Doctor. Hey, Script. Somebody who actually knows a thing or two about this, because they were the ones that sent me the original Mortal Kombat script. I'll talk a little bit about that as well. We also have Mark D with a C popping in here. How you doing, Mark?
Hey, doing good. Hey, guys. What's up?
Good to see you. We are just about to go over Johnny Cage's awesome IMDb.
Nice.
This I thought was inspired. So it says Jonathan Carlton, known professionally as Johnny Cage, is a martial arts champion, action star, and sunglasses enthusiast. Star of such critically watched films. That's
a brilliantly done title.
As a Cage is Born, Center Cage 2, Turn It Off, Ice Cage 2, Meltdown, and surprisingly heartwarming Bonnie and Cage.
Cage, I like it.
Cage is best known for not requiring special effects to pull off his impressive fight scenes, a direct result of his extensive martial arts training, and for being incredibly handsome. So I see what they're doing here. They're kind of leaning into more of a Tom Cruise-ish, but mixing him with like a Van Damme and, you know, kind of a whole amalgamization.
Yeah.
And so these are the other films he's known for. Uncaged Fury, Hard to Cage, The Gist of My Fist, Rebel Without a Cage, Cool Hand Cage, and Caged Rage. And he's won awards for Best Fights in Feature Film, Best Sunglasses, and Best Hair.
What's tragic is that this marketing effort is way better than the writers have ever on the Mortal Kombat 2 movie will ever be.
And then the quotes are, "It's showtime. I'm fucking Johnny Cage," and his nickname is Johnny fucking Cage. And then you got, of course, an advertisement for Uncaged Fury sunglasses. Finally, sunglasses for men, sweat-proof, shatterproof, and cry-resistant. How old is Johnny Cage? Cage is just a number. Who is Johnny Cage dating? Your mom. What is Johnny Cage's preferred brand of sunglasses? The expensive kind. And who is Johnny Cage's agent? If you find out, please contact Johnny Cage. All right, so yeah, this looks kind of funny. So have you read the script? Is that why you say that? Or
No, but the writers of it are from Moon Knight, Fan Four Stick, and other Mortal Kombat. So their track record's pretty.
Well, that
out
first
there.
script wasn't bad. It was when What's His Face came in and rewrote it.
Well, no, when Dave Callahan kind of came in.
Dave Callahan, yeah,
rewrote it. Yeah, it's it got worse.
Because I didn't hate it. Like, because first of all, like you said, the two big changes are how they all get called to the tournament with the logo, and at the end, Cole actually becomes Scorpion in the original script, which made more sense.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And I think if those two changes, especially the ending, I think that was the part that I think most people had the biggest issue with. Because the only other gripes most people had is, are you going to actually have a tournament in your Mortal Kombat movie? I'm like, okay, I get that, guys, but we know that they're planning for like 2 or 3 movies, right? And if they get the tournament out of the way right away, then it's going to be like Mortal Kombat 2 Annihilation.
Yeah.
Right? They had nowhere to go.
Tournament.
So anyhow, what's everybody else's reaction to this? Mark, did you get a chance to check out the trailer?
I didn't check out the trailer, but I've heard about it. And I mean, these movies are just fun, kick-ass things to watch. Like, grab your popcorn and don't analyze it too much and just have fun with it. So that's I'm hoping that's what we get again. Just who cares about who's cast as what, in terms of DEI crap and all this stuff. It's like, let's just have fun with freaking movies again. So hopefully we're getting back to that slowly and surely, which I think we are. So,
and it's Carl Urban. I mean, a lot of people.
Yeah,
like
Carl.
Him, so.
Yeah, Carl Urban's awesome. Yeah, so
he's not the first person I would have thought of, but
he's getting a little old now, which I hate to say it.
So are you, Mark? So are you?
Yeah, so are you too, right? How old is Carl Urban now?
Well, and that's why I think this is going to be a little bit more of a wink, wink, nod, nod to Tom Cruise, more so than because the initial Johnny Cage was more or less like a Van Damme type character, considering all the connection to Mortal Kombat that Van Damme had. In this case, I see them kind of doing this older kind of
gritty
guy who's known for doing all his stunts and he's good looking and all that kind of business. Yeah. But Brian, did you like the first film? What do you think?
I
did.
Think
the second film's going to be any good?
Well, I really enjoyed the first film, although it's one of those weird things where I can barely remember anything about it. All I remember is watching it and thinking, "Oh, that was quite good."
I remember a dude got cut in half the long way.
That I remember. Yeah. I actually really enjoyed it. Against my expectations, I really enjoyed it. And I'm quite hopeful for this. And I do like Carl Urban. And I think, yes, he might not necessarily be the first choice. Maybe he is getting a little long in the tooth, but I still love him. So
yeah, I'm interested to see what they do with it. Nick!
Like 70s before, I liked the newest one. I didn't love it per se, but it was a fun, solid popcorn watch. It's not something I was gonna be like, guys, you have to see this. This is just insanely amazing. But it was a fun, solid watch to kill off hour and 40 minutes, I think it was. I am actually more enthused about this sequel, even though the writing is questionable. But to be fair, I'm not expecting writing out of a movie like this to be any good. Obviously, I'll welcome it. But for me, this is all about, can Carl Urban be good as Johnny Cage and entertain me? And I am hopeful. He's not my ideal choice as much as I like him. But, hey, he looks like he's going to deliver the part. It looks like he's having a damn fun time doing the part. And you know what? Cool. I hope it's good. I will be seeing it opening night when it comes out. So please be good. I want this to be good.
Yes,
I don't care if this movie is like superhuman retard strength. I just want it to be entertaining.
So you just give it a movie rating, Nick. Super retard strength.
I would accept super retard strength.
Remember that one. So we'll come back to my comment from July 17th. Was this movie superhuman retard strength?
Possibly.
Okay, so the weird thing about the casting is, yes, Carl Urban is listed as the top cast, but I'm not seeing Cole. Oh, here's Cole, finally. But they actually have the other guy listed as Scorpion. I thought I heard that they were going to switch Cole over into Scorpion in this movie. Did you hear something like that script, or is that?
Nope, they're keeping him with whatever weird body.
So how are they bringing Scorpion back into this? Because he actually gets listed as second billing.
Cool. I mean, Scorpion's a big part of Mortal Kombat.
So they must have found a way to bring him back in, is my point.
Maybe, yeah, because like we I think this movie is supposed to end with the start of the tournament. That's what I think. But you have Jax there in the background. He's already got the metal hands. So
yeah.
And I mean, we got ripped off in the last movie, right? If I remember, I can't remember.
I was just watching the trailer. It looks like they show his hands getting cut off, but I don't know if that was new or old, like a flashback.
But Cole is listed like way down the list.
Oh yeah,
here.
well,
of course that
terrible.
doesn't mean anything, but no, I mean I just wonder how.
Page?
Huh?
Are you talking about the IMDb page?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's random now these days. They don't even have priorities anymore.
I think it actually goes by how much they get paid, but.
Well, I mean, you can think that, but like I know people over there and they're like, yeah, it's pretty much random.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, usually they go from whatever they get from the studio, and that's why I figured it probably, because usually in the list it's generally by pay. But anyhow,
originally supposed to meet the normal billing on the credits themselves, but after a while, it just when Amazon bought it, it just went to garbage.
Yeah. Anyhow, so yeah, I'm looking forward to this. I didn't hate the first one though. I thought it was fine. I didn't have as much issue with all the issue. Like the biggest thing I griped about was like, why didn't you just have Cole turn into Scorpion at the end? It makes sense. Like he's the family lineage. But anyhow, that being said, I mean, I'm looking forward to this. I like the hype around it. I think it looks good. I think Carl Urban's kind of inspired casting. It's not the first guy I would have thought of, but what I've seen out of it so far looks kind of good, and they're really using him to sell this movie. And I see some people are upset that like, oh, Johnny Cage shouldn't be the lead in the film. Well, he's one of the main three leads, so I don't have a problem with that, right? Like,
yeah.
I mean, he's one of the Earthlings, and there's not all that many Earthlings that are part of the fight. Well, so
he's the human that isn't,
or
that
human, or whatever you want to call it.
That doesn't have superpowers. He is the most normal of them all. But what's abnormal about him is that he's the best karate expert on the planet.
And he's in a lot of cool Johnny Cage movies.
Well, he's in a lot of canon like style Johnny Cage movies.
Those all sound like movies I would have bought every edition of.
I would have.
I was going to say I want half of these movies for real now,
right?
Especially Bonnie and Cage.
Where are these now?
Bonnie and Cage is the best.
They sound like future Toxic Tuesday episodes.
No, I mean, leaning into the absurdity of that is definitely something that an audience today would like to watch because they're in on the joke. Like that's the problem. Like, well, that's not the problem. That's the benefit. They're in on the joke. And it's ironic because sometimes you get a bunch of action movies out where we're not in on the joke and the people are very earnest about making this movie and we just can't help but laugh or scoff or be cringed by it.
Citizen Cage.
Citizen Cage.
That is good. That is good.
And yeah, actually, I think it's meant to be more of an ensemble piece. Like I know some people that was what I was going to say before. Is I know some people are like, the whole point I was getting at was like, I don't know if he's actually the star of the movie. It makes me wonder if Cole's still going to be the main character or not. I mean, the trailers are just really amping him up right now, so I think that's the big selling point they're trying to use. But yeah, it is what it is.
Now, wasn't everyone mad about the 2020 movie that Johnny Cage wasn't in that movie? Was that? I'm trying to remember now.
Yeah, they were saying, why is he not?
Yeah, there was a lot of people upset about that.
A lot of noise about it, and I was one of them. Now I'm happy.
I think it was the right choice in the end. If they want to spin out the movies, yeah,
it might been. Yeah, we'll have to see how this pans out. It looks good so far. It looks fun. I hope script is not right about how bad the script is, but we'll have to wait and see.
I mean, I haven't read the script yet, but again, the writing team behind it, they don't have a good track record. I mean, They have a great track record for getting work. They have a terrible track record on giving it to us.
Right.
To see.
Yeah. Fair. And then Soul Nightmare says the American way. Yes, the Johnny Cage way. Goddess of Whim says those were $500 sunglasses, you asshole. Yes, Johnny Cage. That was from the original film, if I remember right.
Yes.
Klikioki says Jade looks horrible in this. Why is she bald? I don't know. That I guess I didn't even pay attention to that. I'll have to rewatch the trailer.
She is bald.
Okay.
But what's wrong with bald?
Yeah, you got a problem with bald chicks?
Depends on where they're bald.
That's right. Script coming in.
Woo! Yeah, the highest I've ever heard script come in. Oh, that was a coming in itself.
It was. And then
He's a
Deadman
smooth
said,
operator.
Smooth operator. And then Deadman says, Strange New Worlds premiere was actually good, in my opinion, despite some problems. I know most people have checked out of Star Trek, but I'm a completionist. Hey, nobody's going to fault you for wanting to check in and see what's going on.
They're premiering it during the summer when people are outside.
This is where they only got like 6 episodes left or whatever. They're just finishing it off unceremoniously or whatever.
I think they got 6 episodes. Technically, they have 12 episodes, but 6 is for this season and 6 is for the next season.
Yeah.
They just split it, right? Yeah. And I have a correction. That's actually Strange Nude Worms. We have to honor collaboration.
Yes, that's true. Yes. My bad. Yeah, no, I, as far as I know, they're just quietly finishing it up.
That's it, right? Yeah. Well, it's done after.
At least for now. I mean, everything's just kind of sitting in limbo.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, so here's the weird part. So I know someone who was on the production. They're not on it for season 4 or 5, even though it's been kind of announced. But they have said that they did shoot 10 episodes for season 3. I don't know if they're actually. I mean, the rumor is that they're going to split it up and then it's going to be like a 6 and 6. But I don't know if that's going to be the case or not. They might just do this, play out this season, and then that's it. And maybe we'll get a season 4 and 5. I don't know. I really couldn't care any more less than I do now. Well, actually, no, I can care less. I can care a lot less by stopping by not talking about it anymore. But I mean, here's the thing. Other Star Trek shows, even in the past and even under the Secret Hideout brand, would always air closer towards the traditional airing time that you would do this, which would be your fall season. To debut your series in summer when nobody is really watching as much TV in summer as you do in the fall and winter is kind of strange. It's
usually dumping ground. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a dumping ground. It's like if I ever worked on a show and I'd be told, hey, yeah, we're premiering in the summer. I'm like, oh gosh, we're dead. We're dead.
In other words, we're not even going to get a fucking chance. Yeah. I got you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm looking at the Wikipedia page. It says 10 episodes, of course, who knows if it's accurate. 10 episodes season 3, 10 episodes season 4, and allegedly a Variety article, 5th and final season, Trek is renewed for that June 12th. That's 5, but who the heck? No, you're right.
Yeah, it's
never
like
count on it.
They're just doing it to finish up the contracts or something like that. I was told or something or other, but I don't know exactly because that's the problem. Is everything at Skydance / Paramount right now is at a complete standstill if it wasn't already technically in production, is my understanding. And I know Script can probably elaborate a little bit more on that if he wants, but because I know like certain shows and movies are still going ahead that are working that were already contractual and
money,
full speed
money
ahead, but
spent where they're just going to play it out and dump it out there. Yeah, lots of that.
Because then once they do the sale, it's all up to Skydance from there to take over. So
yeah, because we have Strange New Worlds. We then have Starfleet Academy, I think, premiering early next year. And they shot seasons 1 and 2 back to back, is what I was told. So I'm hoping who told me that was correct. if not, whatever. I'm just relaying that.
I've heard very little about the Starfleet show. Like I know it's happening.
Yeah.
But outside of what's his face, like posting some stuff, I know very little.
Robert Picardo. Yeah.
Robert Picardo. Yeah.
I was at the panel for Comic-Con in New York, and they had a big thing on Section 31. Look how long it took to get that show and what a disaster that was. So they had some cast interviews there, with that Starfleet show. They didn't give you much, but
all Section 30 was one at this point was a contract fulfillment with what's her face, and then
Michelle Yeoh,
yeah. And then basically it was kind of set up to where if the movie had done well and was received well, they might have spun it off into a TV show. But at that point, it was just to fulfill the obligation, get it over with. Because that's something we had reported for years, ever since that show was first announced. Because
it was reported as a TV show at first, wasn't it?
Yeah, because Michelle Yeoh's people's like, are you going to get this show going? Because Michelle's going to be getting busier. And as you guys noticed, she got busier and busier and busier. And after she won the Oscar, it was pretty much like they told her, like, yeah, if you're going to do this, now is the time, or it's never going to happen. Yeah. Right. Like, because even though she was like contractual, that point, I think that was them just tempting them to say either do it or take us to court because we're not going to fucking do this. Because, like, I mean, they were dragging. It reminds me of the Blade situation. I was just doing some research on that last night, and I was reminded how long This Blade shit has been going on. It has been going on a lot longer than people stop and realize. Because I was going back, because I'm not convinced that, and this is the whole reason I looked into it real quick, because I'm not convinced that Ryan. Whoa.
What was that?
Somebody's listening to some.
Oh, it wasn't me.
Not me.
Sorry, that might have been
Iron
me.
Man.
That was from Black Sabbath there.
Who farted?
Yeah, Black Sabbath, yeah. He farts
Sorry
in
about
Black
that.
Sabbath.
Too many windows open at the same
Now
time.
do War Pigs.
Yeah, Marisha Ali's gonna be too old for the new Blade movie.
Well, yeah. Well, I was like
Knives
looking
up to
into it because Coogler was like, no, I did a Blade pitch, but my Blade pitch was not Sinners, right? But then that story come out that they bought all the costumes and stuff for Sinners from the Blade production for a sequence that was supposed to be a time period. And I'm sitting here going, what in the fucking world would you need to set anything Blade related in the 1930s for? Nothing connects with that. Nothing. Unless maybe it's a bad guy and you're talking like minimal shit, maybe. And I'm just sitting here going, no way, I don't buy this, because I don't buy it. I think his scripts for Sinners is actually, because I was not impressed by Sinners. I thought it was one of the most overrated pieces of shit I've seen all year. I'll be honest with you. Ryan Coogler's a hack. Okay, I'll say it. I've said it. I don't give a shit. I have not seen one movie he's made that I like. Not one. In fact, everybody gives him a pass, although he fucked up Apollo Creed. Like, I'm so tired of everybody going, yeah, Creed was good. I'm like, no, it wasn't. It was Rocky ripped off and they destroyed Apollo in the process. What? Rewatch that movie again and tell me that you sincerely think that that's a good movie. Because they literally take the guy with a silver spoon up his ass and make him want to be Rocky. That's all it is.
I agree with you on Creed 1. I like Creed 2, but
Creed 2 is a
1
different story because I think Stallone wrote that one.
Did he? Okay, I didn't know that.
I think
but
so.
I like Creed 2, but Creed, no. I like the fights, but the story overall as a movie, I hate what they did to Apollo Creed so much.
Well, and my problem with Sinners is if they took the vampires out, it'd be a better movie. The vampires are kind of what convolutes the whole plot. Like, to me,
yeah, I didn't think it was a very good remake of From Dusk Till Dawn.
No, and it's really all it is at the end of the day. And everybody's like, "Oh no, you're underselling it." No, I'm not. No, I am not. Like, rewatch that movie and then rewatch the whole movie. From Dusk Till Dawn actually has a better, more clearer message. Because I finished up fucking that movie and I'm going, what the fuck is the message of this movie? That the devil won and the devil is good, or what? Because, like, it's okay to be a vampire if you're black, just not if you're white. I'm like trying to figure this whole thing out. None of the rules make any fucking sense. All this like fucking idea where a vampire is all of a sudden a collective, but yet you retain your original. Like, none of that makes fucking sense. Like, I would love to have script see this movie and rip it apart, because yeah, it is a complete and utter fucking mess. It feels like a first draft. And I feel like Ryan Coogler is one of these guys who's not really that good, but nobody has the balls to tell him it needs to be rewritten. Because there is a decent movie in there, but it's like, I would have been like, get rid of this vampire shit.
Oh,
vampire shit just.
Sinners?
Yeah, I'm like, just get rid of it. 'Cause it convolutes everything.
I mean, well, it's a movie that is lacking directorial discipline.
Yeah. It should either be a story about these guys who start a juke joint after stealing a bunch of booze from Al Capone and the fucking mob is coming after them, or it should be about this story about this kid who has the opportunity to sell his soul to the devil for music. Because I love this idea, and Crossroads already kind of did this, where because music is something that people, like, we use music in church, but yet, the same people will point at music and go, that's the devil's music. So to me, like, blues is that point where light and dark kind of meet in music, where it's like you're singing the saddest fucking song you could sing, but it's all like kind of more upbeat, and the way the music is coming through, and there's a lot more the way they use minor chords. And I went through this whole thing last night about it when I was on Physical Media, but I'm like, there is a better movie in here. But you're right, he's an undisciplined writer who feels like he just goes off half-cocked on a first draft without actually thinking it through and giving the movie actual themes and messages that make sense. Because at least with From Dusk Till Dawn, I can sit back and go, it's a movie about a preacher who has a crisis of faith, and through battling vampires, he finds God again. Right? Like, that's the story. Yeah. In this, I couldn't tell you exactly what it is because it goes in 20 different fucking directions. But anyhow, I'm sorry. I did not mean to derail this.
It didn't make sense. Like, the vampire, when they turned, it's like they lost everything, like their memories, and they were just crazy. But then these two vampires were okay. It was really a weird ending. It didn't make sense. Mary,
Tom, you're just bigoted. That's all.
I was gonna say how many in before someone says it's not that you didn't like it, it's that you didn't get it. Because to some crazy Looney Tune bin people, there's no such thing now as a bad movie. It's just that you didn't get it. Yeah, because trying to defend Alien Resurrection, that's not a bad movie either. That as soon as you mentioned something that people universally agree, well, it's different. Yeah.
Yeah.
People like
And
that
I know
argument
audiences love Sinners, but I'm the one guy who will just say what I fucking feel. I don't give a shit.
and that's fine. I haven't seen it yet. Maybe I might come out loving it. I don't know.
If I had seen it before the hype,
how
I
you
might have
feel.
thought it was okay. And I'm not okay. It is a beautiful film. It is a beautifully
Well, that's
shot
not
film.
saying much.
No, the
Most
production
movies are
design is
nowadays.
amazing. The
Most
sound
movies
design is
are.
amazing. Shit, I'll even give Michael B. Jordan credit. At first, he kind of tricked me. I almost thought it was another actor until I finally realized it's him in both roles. Right?
That's good.
So I'll give him credit. And he does a real good job with the Southern accent and all. Like, even a lot of the actors are fine in the movie. They think they're doing something very important. The story thinks it's doing something very important. And people thought this movie was saying something very important. But I would love somebody to sit down and give me a disrotation on what this movie's themes and actual story is. Because at the end of the day, there's a lot of people who are like, they can't tell me. And I've had some people come into me in private and go, yeah, I think the movie is saying that the devil wins. Like,
I thought it was community versus individualism.
Okay, well, you might be one of the few people who could actually sit down and actually break it apart a little bit more nuanced, and I would understand it.
So, I mean, I don't know, but that's what I got. Because
I got a whole lot of mixed messages in there.
I want to see this movie still.
You haven't seen it
opinion
yet?
of it makes me want to see it.
Well, I'm not trying to spoil it, but the
one scene where Michael B. Jordan has sex with his wife, who at first I thought that was his mother because she looks so much older than Michael B.
Right?
Jordan. I was like, wait, what's going on here? They're talking around them. Oh, it's his wife. Wow, she really hit that wall.
Yeah, and I can't remember the actress's name, but I guess she's been in quite a few things, even like Batman v Superman
Loki.
and stuff like that. But
I think she was in Loki as one of the TVA agents or something.
Well, really, what is there to spoil? Everybody's already been going around saying it's From Dusk Till Dawn, but it's just black. It was so it was so on the nose. I was expecting Michael Jackson and Diana Ross to show up at some moment. Like, I was just like, Jesus Christ, like, how much more on the nose can you be here? Is it on HBO Max finally? Because I just got the video this week. That's where I watched it.
Now, yeah.
Oh, wow. Now. So they got it out there. Look, I'm not saying that some people won't enjoy it and have a good time. It's got a lot of great production value and the music's good in it, except for that one scene that took me out of it. And from that moment on, the movie just kind of goes crashing downhill, in my opinion. There's a decent setup there, and it's, I'm not going to take away from, if it wins like Oscars for cinematography and sound and stuff, you won't hear me bitch. But if it wins like Best Picture, which it's poised to be right now, I'm going to really raise some shit, because I'm like, Tarantino's been getting snubbed for years, and this motherfucker wrote this movie 30 years ago. Like,
I mean, it's so close. When I'm watching it, I'm like, yeah, what was the hype about this? I mean, yeah, I thought it was a fun movie to watch, but I'm like, this is just the Dusk Till Dawn with the blues thrown in,
kind of, yeah.
And the twins. And, so there's some nice little, period pieces, and the acting is good. And, but, it doesn't have Selma Hayek. So,
yeah, exactly. Well, and that kid, he's kind of in this role of, does he go to the dark side, or does he stay with the light? So that's kind of where it's like that kind of push and pull. But then the movie also goes into this weird place in the third act where you all of a sudden get a Django Unchained ripoff scene because they had to, and it basically just comes off as fucking murder porn. And I mean, I don't care. It's just like, because I love the scene in Django because it makes sense. Here, it just comes off as, so you did this whole thing just so you could have this murder porn scene where you could kill the bunch of Ku Klux Klan members.
Yeah, I'm kind of shocked that the Klan would actually do something in the middle of the day, because that's really out of character.
Not just that, what Klan member would actually sell a black dude anything in the first place?
I mean, his plan was to kill him.
I know, but the whole thing was so convoluted and stupid.
Convoluted, yeah.
That's my whole point, is from the very start, if this movie was a bit more straightforward, take out the vampires, maybe just have it be like a selling of your soul kind of thing, or just the whole mobster thing in the late 30s, I thought that would have been a more interesting story if you're going to use this kind of a setting.
I will say there is a dichotomy between the Klan and the vampires, where the vampires wanted everybody to be with them, and the Klan wanted to purge everyone that wasn't them.
There's a lot of that kind of shit. Like I see like elements of where he's going, and like I
Yeah,
said,
you
if he
just-
had a competent person there to kind of go, you need to just kind of
He had no one.
Figure
He
out-
didn't have anyone there to say you need to like discipline yourself on what you really want to do with this movie.
yes.
Because it shouldn't have been. I mean, it was an interesting world, but it shouldn't have been nearly 3 hours. There's some stuff you could cut out to make it nice and tight and more focused. And again, I've gotten into flack on Twitter X about this, about lengths of movies. A great director knows how to make a 3-hour movie feel like a 2-hour movie or a 90-minute movie. But also a great director learns that by being disciplined enough to know what is valuable to be shown and what is not. And you have to be able to kill your babies, as the old adage goes. And I think Ryan Coogler was probably a little bit too close to this. And because, again, he kind of got it mostly financed himself. Warner Brothers just picked up distribution rights to it. So it's his movie.
Yeah, I'm not taking nothing away from him. He did this himself. It's big win for him and Warner Brothers. So good for them. I mean, is it a movie that deserves, like, here's my thing, and maybe why I'm being a little more harsh on it than most people is because I just feel like it's been so overrated. And it kind of reminds me of when Something About Mary came out. And it's I just didn't see it till the hype had already gone so hardcore on it. And I just saw it, I'm like, what is this? This is not nearly as good as everybody says it is. Kingpin and Dumb and Dumber are 10 times better than this piece of shit.
It's always the
And I'm like-
those type of movies is when you see something like that. Like I know a lot of people in my area who saw Spider-Man, the first one, Tobey Maguire one, third, fourth, fifth weekend, and they were not fans of the movie after the first 2-3 weeks
hype.
of the hype, and people are like, "Oh, it was okay. It wasn't as good as everyone said." So that's probably the one major detriment to that is when movies get like really rave reviews and enthusiasm from audiences, people's own expectations, they value them a little bit too much. To me, it's just like, and I used to be guilty of that as well. Nowadays, if I hear a positive review, it's like, okay, I'm hopeful, but I don't treat it as gospel, because if I treat it as such, then I'm gonna escalate my own expectations, and then I might end up being disappointed because I let someone's enthusiasm made it way too sky high for me, to a point where I didn't find a way of enjoying as much as I could have just simply seen it for what it was.
So that happened to you when you went to see Wicked, I guess, right, Nick? You were the hype. And you were...
My youngest likes that movie. I did take her.
Part of me
it.
actually
Yeah,
hopes that the second part wins the best picture, just so I don't have to worry about this. Because like that's the thing, is everybody who's talking about this movie winning, it's like, did they forget that we got a Wicked Part 2 coming out this year?
Yeah, well, no,
That's
it
right,
comes in November. I'll be.
And let's be real,
With
we
my
know how the
youngest
Academy
thing,
works with this shit. If they don't give the first movie all the Oscars, yet it got nominated for everything, then that means the second or third, like Return of the King kind of a thing.
Yeah.
But anyhow,
Well,
yeah.
And Sinners that chalked to Vampire Hunters, they were kind of really interesting. I wanted to see more of them.
They got the
Indian-
shaft. That was one of the things I was going to say. Yeah, because it's kind of funny because I just was kind of just mulling this idea in my mind about like doing something similar to this. I was looking at more of like treating like the vampires, like having like this upper class, like hidden society of vampires. And I know that this has been done a million times, but the werewolves would all be, but they would be against werewolves. And of course the werewolves would be the good guys, but the werewolves were all like from like Native American background. It was kind of like the point there, but it's just something I was kind of mulling around in my head. But then I saw this movie and I'm like, okay, so what are they doing here with this? And then it goes nowhere. It go like that's the other thing is like there's so many little things in this movie that they introduce, but then they just don't take anywhere or pay off at any time. And it's just like, so why did you even waste our time with that? And I'm not alone in this, because when I posted that, a lot of people said, yeah, you could cut easily 45 minutes out of this movie. And that goes along with what Script was just saying before, because that's a problem. When you're sitting here looking at a movie and you're like, oh yeah, we can cut 45 minutes out of this and I don't think it'd matter. And I think it would help the movie because it would have made it more direct and more focused. And you would have just gotten to the main kind of meat of the story. Because I know people are like, oh, spoilers and all this shit. Like, here's the thing is like the vampire element is there more so than it is in From Dusk Till Dawn. But then once it gets introduced, it kind of gets tossed to the side for a little bit. And then it gets reintroduced again. And it just kind of keeps coming back until it's finally the last part of the movie. And then the last part of the movie literally becomes From Dusk Till Dawn. Like they all fight in this bar room, basically. And the chick that like lets them all in is so stupid. That's another thing that it's like, I hate vampire rules that are so dumb. Like this whole, you got to invite them in bullshit.
Yeah, how
it's
does
like,
that work?
Does a rodent wait to get asked to come in your fucking house? No, they just find a fucking way in, especially when they've introduced that vampires can shapeshift so much. It's like, what good does that do you if you have to wait to be invited?
They're gonna
in
go
a
hungry.
house?
They're gonna go awfully hungry.
And I'm sure there's a reason for that. It's in some sort of folklore that has something to do with maybe like a church or something or other. But like, to me, that's just one of those stupid points that most vampire movies and stories have gone, you know what, that's dumb. We're not even going to bother with that one. Right. But I didn't mean to spend.
Night, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't. Yeah, and Fright Night, it makes difference though. It's like it's almost like works into the
Fright
plot.
Night,
But I mean, anyhow, I spent way too long on a movie I didn't even plan on talking about. Let's talk about. Let's get into some super chats and then we'll get into some other stuff. Soul Nightmare says, "Oh yeah, Fantastic Four's Mold Man is just a dude in a jacket."
Well,
oh, for fuck's sake!
Kind of what he wears, that green outfit. So
are you telling me that the fake one from Fantastic Four Corman is going to be better?
No,
he's
talking
about
the guy who wears the glasses, who's played by what's his face from Cobra Kai?
The Stingray actor. Yeah,
Stingray.
Yeah. Oh, that guy.
Actor
Yeah,
Stingray. He's Mole Man. I'm fine.
That's right. I forgot.
That's probably one of the few positives I can find out of that. Was that? But
did you guys hear John Malkovich got cut out of it?
Yeah,
yeah.
I heard that. I was like, wow. We kept Passhole, but we cut out the Malkovich. I mean, I get it. Passhole's the main character, or second to main character. Sorry.
Yeah, but he was in the trailer, and I'm like going, so do we get to sue him now? Like the people.
That's not the first time that's happened, where stuff that's in the trailer gets cut out.
No, I know, but that one person sued over what was it yesterday?
Yeah.
That Beatles movie, and they won.
Oh, did they really?
What they sue over?
Yeah, because what's her face wasn't in the trailer, or she was in the trailer, but she wasn't in the movie at all, hardly or at all.
It was that the one where John Lennon never, the Beatles never made it, and John Lennon lives at the end. Is that the movie?
Something like that. Yeah,
it's an alternative time. The guy's into an alternative timeline where the Beatles didn't become successful, but he knows all the songs because he's in a different parallel universe. So he starts presenting them as his own. So the Beatles never existed in that universe that he goes into.
Yeah.
But
he knows them all because he's from our universe. I think John Lennon's in it.
John Lennon has a speech at the end where he meets them.
But anyway, there was some actress that was all over the trailer that got cut completely out of the movie, and they sued over it.
Oh, wow.
I'm trying to remember the actress's name, but yeah.
Yeah, because they said there was one scene where she was on a late night talk show. And they said, come up with a romantic song in 3 minutes. And of course, the guy reels off, one of the classic Beatles songs. Everyone's like, I can't believe it. So I remember reading that, they thought the romance, the main character would have been cheating with this girl on the late show versus the main girlfriend. So that's probably what it is.
It was Anna de Armas. So two men who rented yesterday on Amazon Prime, after seeing her in the trailer, only to discover her role was removed in the final cut, have settled their false advertising lawsuit. So they settled out of court.
See, D. Bud Martin has got it nailed in the chat. This is he goes into the universe where the Ruttles were successful, not the Beatles.
That's pretty good.
That would be good.
Now, in this case here, because the announcement that Malkovich has been cut, they are no longer vulnerable for
yeah, gotcha. Yeah, I suppose that would factor, but it doesn't matter. They settled, so there's no precedent set already. So
I wonder how much they got. God,
probably not very much, because I mean, really, look, their damages would be what, $3.99, and so yeah, I'm sure Amazon's like, look, what's it going to take to make this go away? This has already cost you how much to fucking file this?
But that's funny because I remember seeing that in the trailer, that whole scene. And I'm a huge Beatles fan. And when I went to see the movie, I'm like, what happened to that whole scene? And what happened to the love interest that, damn, I should have sued too. Crap.
Yeah, I don't think they got a whole lot. They probably got, if I had to guess, because I don't even know if they disclosed what they got. Unless they disclosed it, somebody let me know. And this is just me hypothetically guessing, is they probably just gave them a year's free of Amazon Prime, gave them a couple $100 to pay off their court fees. And then a year of free rentals or some stupid shit. I mean, that's even giving them way above and beyond.
They gifted them Warner Brothers Studios for free.
Yeah. David Zaslav was one of these people. Did you know that? No. Anyway, Jason Webster says, "Hi guys, what do you think of final global earnings for F1? It will cross 400 million on Friday. Hey, good for it. Is that the final earnings? Is it going to be put onto streaming already or what? Because I heard that I haven't heard a date yet for the video, so I don't know when it's hitting. It could be hitting soon, or did it already? And I didn't know it. So there you go. Then Jason Webster says, so far, K-Horror Dark Nuns and Bring Her Back are my favorite horror films of 2025.
Yeah,
Megan
Dark
2 was a
Nuns is good.
disappointment.
Dark Nuns
Yeah,
is
I've only-
very good. Yep.
I've only seen a few people stick up for Megan 2. But there you go. Yeah, Brian's the guy to talk to about that Korean
I
stuff.
haven't seen Bring Her Back yet, but Dark Nuns is excellent. Yeah. It's a very great strand of Korean
Bring Her Back on
horror,
Go Back.
supernatural kind of horror. Yeah.
Last time I watched a movie called Dark Nuns, it was called Sister Act.
It was
Or about Dark Nuns. I'm sorry. That was the joke. All right. fuck that.
Okay, it was funny.
Shinatsky says K-pop Demon Hunters has amazingly tight writing. I've heard a lot of people like that show.
I haven't seen that yet. In fact, it didn't
Yeah.
appeal to me, but people keep saying it's really good, so maybe I'll give it a try.
Yeah. And then Jason says, I'm really looking forward to the K-horror film Ghost Train, which stars, I swear he does this just so he
Joo
can
Hyun
screw
Young.
these up.
Joo Hyun
Yeah.
Young,
Joo Hyun Young.
yeah.
That Extraordinary Attorney Woo is really good, actually. It's a
Woo.
good little TV show.
There you go. Then Alexander Tan says on Flashcast, Script Doctor called for Beardo for talking out of turn. Since then, he has made at least 2 videos attacking Script
I
Doctor.
heard
He did?
that. Beardo,
Beardo?
I heard him really having a go at you, Script.
Who's
Oh
Beardo?
yeah,
That guy that
Geeks
you-
and Gamers.
The
Geeks
guy
and
that
Gamers.
you're-
Okay, let him talk crap about me. I'm
That's
a
the first I
screenwriter
heard
that
about
gets
it.
paid.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
busy working.
Good for him. He's got a very fragile ego. Good for him.
I'd say, yeah. I don't even really know him that well, so yeah, that was.
I didn't even
He's kind of a
remember
dick
him.
to me too, so yeah.
I think he might have been being a dick on purpose, but that's,
Yeah, well, it didn't quite work out for him.
Was he? Is he someone who loves Man of Murder?
Yeah,
I
think
don't know
so.
what
I don't
he
know.
just started having a go at Script on Geeks and Gamers.
Wonderful.
Today.
Hey, at least people will find my channel.
That's right. It's all
That's
good
what I love is all
promotion.
these people that are making fun of me. You know, not like I don't know what people expect. Do they expect me to just go, yeah, okay, I was wrong about Superman?
It's
Like, I mean, what do they expect? And I'm just sitting here going, like, okay, at the end of the day, what is going to happen? Do you think I'm just going to conform to what you fucking want?
it was what's
I don't
weird
know,
is
seeing
I've
what some of those
seen-
people like, I would not want to conform to what they want.
What's weird is some of the response. Oh, hey, this crowd is being this way. It's like, okay, well, that side is being crazy about it too. We're pretending one side is doing it, and it actually is happening both ways. But we're somehow scared to mentioning what your side of the argument is doing. There's a lot of crazy. Someone sent a super chat. I can't remember which channel it was, but saying they wrote a list of the people in our sphere who liked the Superman movie. And says so something along the lines like,
Yikes,
so
that's
when are
some
we going to
Yahtzee ass
change
shit.
Tugs, Midnight's Edge, Yellow Flash, and so and so and so for liking this movie? I thought to myself, what a weird petty comment. If you want to have a fun discourse and debate, no, hey, have a go. But when you do stuff like that, it's just like, man, you're starting to like give credence to all these press outlets that say like there's something wrong with our type of audience. And we've worked very hard to prove otherwise, but when you do stuff like that, you give them validation on that, and we don't need that. Like my buddy
he was being
Ironcaster
quite
and I,
aggro.
Ironcaster and I had disagreements on Superman on Friday night, and yet we still had a great conversation about the movie.
Oh, cool. Yeah, actually, I need to watch your show on that. I missed it.
Well, it's now starting on Saturday night. But yeah, this is the last Friday episode.
Well, I mean, I always have to catch them on the replays anyway.
yeah.
Yeah. But
Mhm.
no, I mean, like, I'm trying to. I don't know. Okay, so a guy doesn't like me. Story of my life. But no, I think. Listen, what I really like is that the discourse for Superman, aside from some of the more arrogant and ad hominem the stuff out there, is actually really fun to engage with. There's lots of people trying to come up with different ideas for different themes. People really like the fact that Clark is a good, hopeful type of hero again as Superman. Everybody's loving Mr. Terrific, which is fantastic because he's a very underused character. And he finally got some time to shine. And yeah, I'm digging. I have no idea what they're going to do with the next Superman film, who's going to make it. But I got a couple of cool little tidbits for the Supergirl stuff, and I'm looking forward to it. I think it might be a surprise film for a lot of people. I don't know if it's going to track as well as Superman is, but we'll have to see how this second weekend goes and figure out what is the DCU I think they're going in the right direction, but do audiences agree? I'm looking forward to finding out.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
it's got to be better than the original Supergirl movie. I just rewatched
Yeah.
that.
yeah.
God. Oh.
Yeah, and then on that note, or not on that note, but here's one for Script anyway. Action Com says, Script, when are they going to wise up and delay streaming movies for 8 months and not 8 days? Yeah, this is a problem.
I don't know, man. You're preaching to the choir here.
Yeah, I think you want to know the truth. At least this is my kind of take on it. I think some of the studios know they can't keep doing this. Like Warner Brothers is smart enough. They have a 45-day window anyway, and they've already made some exceptions. Disney, I got to give them credit. They actually don't have a set window as far as I know. Like they go by, they must have like box office thresholds that if it doesn't meet or meets above, they will either pull it or keep it in theaters longer or shorter, depending on which way you're headed. Yeah, Universal is the worst of the bunch, right? Because they'll pull their movies within 36 days, in some cases less, because if the August 5th date holds for Jurassic World, that's less than 36 days from release, unless they're counting preview screenings.
Wow.
I mean, it looks like Warner Brothers learned from their mistake with the day and date from a few years ago, and I'm hoping that they push it to the limit, because that builds up physical media sales and it also builds up digital rentals.
It does, because it creates you don't want to go too far out, right? You don't want to wait to a point where nobody remembers your movie, but you want a point where it's been built up enough that people want to see it again, and there's nothing out there but crappy bootlegs and shit. And I mean, look, I'm going to use Superman as an example here. I've been hearing that they're going to hold Superman off for a while. Now, a lot of the papers are running with the 45-day window, which it could very well be. If the movie falls off after 30 or so days, Warner Brothers might just throw it up on video on demand. But I've been hearing the Blu-ray won't even come out until November. It's already number one on the pre-sales charts. It's sold out on steelbooks everywhere. Every time somebody puts it up for sale, the steelbooks sell out instantly.
Yeah, I missed 2 sales already for it.
Target had them, but I think they already sold out too.
Yep. I'm gonna have to probably find one on the black market.
Well, how much
Fortunately,
money
I have 2 orders in for one, but yeah.
Do they make
On
money from the
accident.
streaming? The pay-per-view? Is that kind of they're trying to use that to replace
I think right now I think that's where they're getting this artificial bump. And I've brought this up before too, Mark, where I think that the reason they've been doing this a lot is because when you think about it, when a movie's in theaters, they get about 60% or so of the opening weekend's ticket sales now. They don't get what they used to. Like Disney will probably try and demand like 75% or more. But people forget that for a while there, this is one of the reasons why theaters were getting so cut off at their knees, because the first 2 or so weekends of a movie, the studio would take, in some cases, especially with Disney, up to 90% of the box office. And people are like, wow, but yeah, no, it's absolutely true. And
That's
Disney
why the
didn't even
popcorn's
start
so
this.
expensive. Yeah,
Exactly. This actually goes back to George Lucas with the prequels. He was one of the first ones to do this. He took 75% of the first, I think, 2 or 3 weeks of the box office for Phantom Menace. And they were obligated to carry it for 12 weeks. And that was way back when a movie could play forever, right? So here the studios, they have a different contract now as far as how long they have to carry these movies. And the same thing we see with these 2-week windows with IMAX is a good example of that, right? Where IMAX usually won't give any movie more than 2 weeks to have exclusivity. It's kind of the same thing here. So I think once the box office starts falling off, because after the first weekend, then the studios get less. And then after the third weekend, they get even less. So by the time you get to the 4th, 5th weekends, that's when the theaters are actually getting to keep a lion's share of the box office, and the studios see less, and people don't realize that. So that's when they'll turn around and they'll pull them from theaters and throw them out. Well, they actually won't pull them from theaters, but they'll throw them up on streaming, and most theaters will quit carrying them then once they're not contractually obligated to anymore. And then on the streaming side of things, they actually get probably a good portion of that compared to what they're getting from the theatrical release, right? Because I guarantee you, Amazon's only getting anywhere from $2, $3, $4 to $5 for each one of those sales, Vudu and all those, to where the studio's getting the lion's share of like $20+ every time you get one of those movies. And since they're new and brand new, a lot of people buy them right away. So that's where I think they see a nice little boost,
a little bump, like they used to get with the DVD,
but not nearly
sales.
that big. Exactly. And DVD and Blu-ray sales used to last a lot longer, and especially come up like you'd have like other windows like the holiday season and things of that sort, to where I don't think streaming has that unless they're running certain sales. And even then, it's not the same. You can't quite gift a streaming movie to somebody. You can give them like a gift card,
Yeah,
like,
Everybody
you know,
loves those.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I mean, it's a little easier to go buy a movie for somebody that, you know, like a kid that's into a Disney thing or a superhero thing or a, you know, SpongeBob or Ninja Turtles, and go get them something and give it to them that's physical. But then you run into the issue now is that most people don't even realize they don't have players, or that the players they have don't even realize they play them, right? Because most people don't even have like a straight Blu-ray player or DVD player in their house anymore.
Yeah, and that used to be a major gift. Like, are you going to a birthday party? Get the kid like a Superman animated cartoon, or like that was like
It's usually one of the easier things to do. Yeah,
yeah, but not, you know, other than collectors like me, or you know, there's really not many people that are into physical media for. You know,
it's impossible to buy us stuff because we already have everything.
Yeah, so it's like, or I put it on the list, and a couple of times we've all done it where we've gotten two of like one movie, or rebought the same 4K movie twice or whatever because you forget that you own it or it's in your collection. But yeah, it's a shame because they cut their own foot off there, you know, by we're going to make a ton of money from streaming. And I was just reading now too that Megan was 2.0. She's, I guess it's already streaming now, right?
Wouldn't be surprised. It died.
July 15th, yeah.
And that's a Universal title. So yeah, they would have pulled it.
They pulled it and they totally gave up on it. And yeah, it's just a shame because you know, physical media is the way to go. But you know, down the road, are you even be able to buy Blu-ray player? I mean, it's going to be a total niche hobby,
boutique thing. Yeah,
boutique thing. Yeah.
Right now, like the distribution model of streaming is basically your final resting place for films. And even though they don't track as quickly or as you know, in future years, they still make the studio money, just nowhere near as frequent as the DVD and Blu-ray sales.
No,
but as audiences and, you know, the rest of the world start to get upgraded internet and better access to that, it might start to take over. But I don't think it's going to happen for at least another 15 years. And that's going to be tough times for the bigger studios if they can't manage their overhead.
Yeah, I think some of them are going to start to realize this. It's going to take some time. Like I said, I think Warner Brothers is a little ahead of the curve on this. They're still embracing home media. Sony still does quite a bit in home media. Disney's had to reinsert themselves into home media. And I think the studios are starting to realize that they fucked up on that. Because I've been hearing rumblings that they're going to start to push it again. And people are getting back into it because they've also realized that streaming isn't permanent, right? It's just a long-term lease on shit. So we'll see how this rolls in the next few years, though. But it'll be interesting to see if they start to try and separate streaming from theatrical release a little bit more.
Because I've never rented a movie. Is anyone in the chat, or any of you guys like rented a streaming movie? I've never ever done that.
I have, but when you start to factor the price, yeah, it's like you might as well just pay the full price.
Might as well just buy it. Yeah.
I do have a theory of how physical media could return. And the theory has to do with the housing market. If houses became more affordable, people would have space to store physical media. They would then buy physical media.
You're not totally wrong. And this is actually, I laugh, but it is a problem.
It's not a problem, Tom. You've got an entire bed made out of physical media.
Well, that's the problem, is my house is overtaken by physical media, and this is not a wrong.
But you're an exception. Not the rule.
Yeah, I do have to pull out, unfortunately.
Brian has to pull out, but yeah, you're not wrong. Time. But this is why I know a lot of people have done, like, what is it, the systems with, like, Kodi or whatever it is. But yeah, go ahead, Brian, and plug your wares.
Well, I mean, all I was going to say is if anyone if anyone's looking for a channel that covers 1980s heavy metal and Korean entertainment at the same time, then I'm the channel you're looking for.
Sometimes you cover physical media, like records.
I do. I cover physical media. I got that Superman 4K 5 movie set the other day.
Did you?
That was quite nice. Yeah.
That was great. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
is that a thrift shop?
No. Actually,
that was new. Okay.
I was in Prime Days. Yes. Most of my stuff's thrift. You could build an excellent collection of physical media just by going.
I'm still waiting to hear back from Warner Brothers if they fixed if they're going to do a replacement program for the old version. I don't know which version you ended up with, but yeah.
Well, this one. Hang on, that one.
Yeah, I don't know if it's. I'd have to check because they had an issue with it, and then they're re-releasing it in the Steelbook.
There's an issue with this one. It's got Superman 4 in it. That's the issue.
Well, if it doesn't have the 5.1 mix on the first disc, then it's the old version. And Yeah, what
I'll
they
look
do,
later.
they fixed a few things. It's nothing like major. I could tell. Bill Hunt put the short list of things.
Wait a
that
minute.
needed
It
to be
says on the
fixed.
back, "Fuck Tom Connors."
Yeah, it probably does.
It's all his fault. So that's,
Well, if they do a replacement program, I'll let you know because you should be able to get them. So
I think I can live without it.
if not, but yeah, it's just minor things anyway. So
Hang on. I'm trying to see if it's got it or not.
or things that wouldn't even bother you. So yeah,
No, it's got the 5.1.
so it might be right. They might have fixed it already. So all right,
Right. Anyway, enjoy the rest of the show. See you guys later.
Take
take
care.
care.
Cheers.
Take care,
Bye.
mate.
Yeah, it was literally just a few minor issues they had to fix, like the Dolby Atmos mixes on most of them, and then Superman 2, the Donner cut is the worst because for some fucked up reason, and I noticed this right away, the last shot in the movie's all fucked up. Like
Oh,
it's
you
all
mean the weird
skewed
blur-
and
Yeah, the skew
Yeah.
and blur. Yeah, I know. I saw
yeah, they
that.
fixed that. They
That's
fixed
good.
that. Yeah. Yeah, and the whole 5.1 mix thing, all that is the original 4K release of Superman. They had the original 6-track 70mm remix mix on there, and also the new remix. But for some reason, when they put it in the box set, they took the 5.1 mix off and put in a 2.0 mix instead. So they had the old original 70mm because if you know the movie, and Script knows this, the various soundtracks of Superman are very fucking different.
Yes.
Very different. To the point where, like, the Dolby Atmos, like, here's the best examples. Just watch the opening credits in Dolby Atmos and then watch it in the original soundtrack because, like, in Dolby Atmos, every fucking title goes it really loud like that. In the original, it doesn't do that until the Superman fucking thing comes up. It's just a little whoosh, whoosh. And then Superman, when it builds up, then it goes wow, like that. So, like, yeah, there's just little things like that they completely mixed differently. And it's almost a completely different sound experience. And they use new sound effects and other things in it. And yeah, it bothers a lot of folks. And they did the same thing with Batman as well. But we're about to get into some other business here where we finish up these super chats. And we got Andre joining us. And we know why Andre's
how
here.
timely.
Hello.
Greetings, everyone. Yeah.
There he is. Okay, here we go.
Hello.
Because we've got Carl Urban jumping ship from Dredd to Mortal Kombat. But there's some Dredd news, isn't there, Andre?
Yeah, and you can argue or question if it's dreadful or not, but yeah, we'll get into that.
Well, let me finish up these super chats, and then we're going to react to Tron, and then we're going to get right into that. Flying Blind on a Rocket Cycle says, suddenly realized why certain set of files on a certain attorney general's desk couldn't be released. They're the script for the Rian Johnson trilogy. Oh. I love how he's doing exactly what we said was going to happen. I would love to go back and rewind to all our predictions where it's like, oh, it was never really a thing. I never really got going on it. It was just an idea. It was something we were going to do. It just never got there. I would love to still do it. Yeah. He never had anything started. It was a bunch of Fugazi. Action Com says, how's Tubi doing? Are they pulling this off? Yes, they're doing very well. In fact, I just read a story about how shows like Gunsmoke are getting more viewers than any of the Disney Plus shows.
That's impressive.
This isn't like we just recently, like, this is why we're getting a Little House on the Prairie reboot. Because Little House on the Prairie is huge on streaming. All these classic shows that people just love to sit back and watch nostalgically or just throw on in the background. Those are the ones that are the most popular on streaming. All the same classics. And this is why the South Park thing is such a big deal that we were discussing the other night. Because that is some very big money for streaming. People love to just throw on South Park or Friends or The Office and fall asleep to it. So yeah, they're doing very well. And then we got Soul Nightmare says, like I said yesterday, I keep Superman in theaters as long as possible. That's what it sounds like Warner Brothers is probably going to do. Jurassic World will lose its shine and be out of the way, and F4 flopping will help big time. Yeah, we'll have to see how F4 turns out, but I think
Superman should do fairly well this week, and there's nothing really competitive to take a bite out of it.
First, actually, take away from it. I think they'll probably make enough just to say, hey, look, we had a decent opening weekend, but that's going to come from the diehards, which they exist, they're out there, but it doesn't seem like it's gathered normie interest. Unless there's a normie area that I haven't seen, which, hey, if they're out there, great. I hope it does okay as long as it's good, but I've been surprised before. But this it's going to be that.
I think we've gotten no reports from outside the U.S. all week, so we have yet to see what it's done outside the U.S. So,
but we don't hear about
it
the
might have surpassed the
international
300
market.
million already. No, but it's a big deal because the national market was soft on Superman.
It was.
So, and I think it was because, everybody was going to see Jurassic World. Now that everybody's done that, we'll see how the second weekend goes. But Andre, you're of course outside of the U.S. What is kind of the buzz for Superman in like areas where you're at? And
Well, this is kind of like the thing that summer season is low season for movies in Europe. This is kind of like that. And that's why, for the really big worldwide things, the holiday season is actually better. There is some buzz for Superman. I certainly know that in my family, my kids both want to see it. And I've caught people here and there. When I went to see it the second time, it was a decent crowd. So I see some interest. Don't see a lot of interest, but I see some interest in it, which is honestly more than I would expect, because there's none for instance, Fantastic Four.
it's funny because a lot of the media is trying to paint it as gloom and doom, but then I keep hearing about how, like old DC stuff on HBO Max is getting a boost. Peacemaker season 1, I think, took a big, huge boost this last week.
Oh, I wouldn't be surprised.
Like I was pointing out the other day on the show, like a bunch of the songs and stuff that were on the soundtrack, or a couple of the songs that were on the soundtrack, because there's only like 3 songs, and 2 of them are old ones and one of them's a new original. Like those took a huge leap on the streaming side of things. Like even the punk star song from Iggy Pop jumped over 1,000%. Like, yeah, which is insane. So like, yeah. But anyhow, Jason Webster says, question, do you think the top 5 of your favorite films of 2025 is pretty much locked, or is there a film or films you believe could change that? Oh, I think we've got a little ways to go. We've got almost a half a year yet of movies, but yeah, what about you guys? Do you think any of your favorite films of the year are locked thus far?
Well, I'm going to see FF next week. Fingers crossed, but don't have high hopes for that, right? Yeah, come on. How much
Don't
of
make
an
us
FF
laugh,
fan I am.
dude.
Oh God, the Silver Surfette. I mean, just is killing me. And Pedro as Mr. Fantastic is, on my list of
New leading
casting.
team on top of it.
Yeah,
But we still have Mortal Kombat to come.
I know. Yeah, we were just talking about that, Andre, and I know you and I were one of the few people who actually enjoyed the first
I know.
one
Unapologetically,
yeah, and you did too. But
Yep.
now that we have you here, what was your reaction to all the? Because I read through Johnny Cage's IMDb page. Did you see that?
No, I didn't. That's
Yeah, he's got his own IMDb page.
Yeah.
So
No,
good.
because I thought I really enjoyed this first teaser, which was basically kind of like the same thing that you had in Tropic Thunder, how that movie started with the fake trailers, like Grindhouse style. I thought it was super cool. That's the way to do it. Sets the tone right away. And then you had the broken, beaten down Johnny Cage, the aging action hero, and this one, perfect. Loved it. And the tone of the trailer, man, I can't wait for this, to making him the lead. That's how you know why they chose Carl Urban. And they know, fine, we're going to give him significant help with the fighting and get some proper stunt doubles here, but we need that actor to pull this off. And it looks like they've done it. I'm as excited for this as I was the first Mortal Kombat back in 1995 or whenever that came out. And that's all because of Carl Urban in that trailer.
Yeah. Anybody else got any that they think are going to make their top 5? I mean, I think Superman will be in my top 5 for sure. I don't know about my number 1. I know Sinners won't be in my top 5. That's for sure.
F1 might be in my top 5. I like F1 a lot.
Yeah, F1 is one I wouldn't
really
be surprised
good.
if a lot of people bring that one.
I'm definitely going to have that for sure. Superman will most likely be there, but F1 right now has been the one that has raced to the top so far.
Sleeper hit, so to speak, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and remember, we also have Naked Gun still coming. We have
Nobody 2. I can't wait for Nobody 2. Oh,
yeah. I have heard some good things about Naked Gun, actually.
Yeah. So I don't think anyone should lock in their top 5 just yet.
Yeah, no.
What about Spinal Tap 2? Is that this year or is that
That's
next
one
year?
I'm looking forward to.
Yeah.
Yes, that's this year. Yeah. We watched did you see that, Mark? I don't think you were here the other day. We watched a clip from that. It looks fucking hilarious. Like
God,
the whole deal was it'd be really helpful if one of you guys could die on stage, and it would really up
Spontaneously combust.
the tour. And it's like, we call it the Elvis effect. And he's like, you mean like pretend to die? No, like actually die. I think that defeats the purpose of. Yeah, but we don't want to. And then the other was like, well, what if we did a coma? Now there's something.
And there's even a Norwegian kaiju movie coming, and it's not the Troll sequel.
Oh yeah, what's that one? Is that
Kraken.
the Goblin one or the other
No,
one?
it's Kraken. Kraken, yeah.
Oh, Kraken one. Cool.
Yeah, I've been trying to find about what this Goblin thing is too. There's another one I keep hearing about. But no, speaking of kaijus, did you guys hear the news about Godzilla? This is something I brought up to Andre, but we hadn't had a chance to really look into yet. We may have a chance here where there's 3 Godzillas at once. Did you guys see this?
No way.
But I'm
They're looking into a possible Shin Godzilla 2. We already know we're getting a -1 sequel, and we already know we're getting another Godzilla Kong. So if all 3 of those take off, that means 3 different Godzilla franchises all at once, basically. And I said this before, as Godzilla fans, I don't think we could eat any better than we had. I guess I got to eat my own hat on that one. Because even Andre gets his wish, because he gets a Shin Godzilla. For those who don't know, that's like his favorite one.
Oh, the Shin franchise is great. Sorry, Andre, go ahead.
Yeah. Oh, and in the private chat, I put a still picture from the Norwegian kaiju movie Kraken, which is coming later this year.
Oh, that's a good shot.
Oh shit! It took me a minute to figure out what it was. Like I was like, "What the hell?" Oh, it's a kayak. Okay.
He's gonna need a much bigger kayak. Yeah,
gonna need a much bigger boat. That's for sure. Yes, I'll take some of that. It sounds good. So yeah, we'll have to see what comes up here, Jason. That's a good question. And then Jim Watari was nice enough to give 10 memberships. Well, thank you for that, Jim Watari. That was super generous of you. Thank you. Jason Webster, thank you again for the question. We got that one. Dead Man says, Andre, good to see you tonight. I came across a YouTube short where some random dudes were asking if they had ever seen Midnight's Edge, and they both did an impression of you. I thought it was funny. We make the rounds. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Well, it happens when you've been around for about a decade. I know it's tough for people to believe, but on that note, did anybody watch the Tron Ares trailer?
I didn't, but to be fair, I wasn't impressed with the original trailers, nor have I really ever cared about Tron. But carry on. This is not my wheelhouse.
Did that play
Dredd,
before? Was that the
Dredd
trailer?
and Mortal Kombat were my wheelhouse, so it's okay.
Was that trailer playing before Superman? Because I think maybe I've seen it then.
No, it came today. So
it came out today, so I don't know.
It came 8 hours ago. So when it'll be in trailers from this weekend. But unless you saw Superman in the last 24 hours, no, you won't have seen it.
Okay, yes, I saw a different trailer, but it looked like they were, the ideas are coming to the real world now. So could looks interesting. So, but yeah, what's the execution going to be here? So.
Well, I remember we heard that there was 2 Tron sequel scripts. One that was a true sequel to Tron 2, and one that was a cheaper one that took place in the real world. So I'll make you guess which one we got.
The one that I read took place in the real world, but it was so focused on Korra.
Yeah, and I don't know which one this is either, but
this seems like a hybrid maybe of the 2.
I don't know. Honestly, it looks dumb. I'll say it. I don't know. You guys might like to think it looks cool, but
well, where's Tron?
It looks like a Tron wannabe more than an actual Tron. I don't know.
Where's Bruce Boxleitner? I mean, he should be in this.
I get what you're saying. He might have a cameo, but
he's the title character.
The only one we got a cameo of in the trailer is Jeff Bridges, but
as a hologram, it looks like.
Looks like, yeah.
There you go, yeah.
But Jared Leto's involved in this heavily.
Ugh.
As not just a star, but a producer. So,
yeah.
Oh, I love Disney's new little logo down there. Did you see that?
Oh yeah.
I will say that I'm also like I also think it looks relatively like plain, a little bit boring. I don't like that there's so much red in it. I think they kind of like went with the wrong color palette compared to the absolute visual beauty of the previous movie. And I do consider the previous movie to be something of a masterpiece, an audio-visual experience. You can argue that that was like a 2-hour Daft Punk video, which is fair. But then you had Daft Punk at their absolute A game. And I would have thought that, if fine, there's no more Daft Punk anymore, but you would get someone like that to score this and make it a similar experience. Who do they get? Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross. Now, they're both good, and even the music in the trailer is good, but it's not up there with the previous Tron movie now, is it?
Daft Punk, yeah.
That's what I mean. Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross, for however brilliant Trent Reznor may have been as a solo artist and with Nine Inch Nails and stuff like that, he and Atticus Ross have made a ton of movie scores. And guess what? They're mostly forgettable. Like, for instance, their score for The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, the American remake. The only good thing about that score was the opening sequence, and that was a cover of the Immigrant Song. I just think that this project it comes out 5 years too late, at least, like maybe 8 years too late. And it doesn't have nearly as exciting people either behind the scenes, and certainly the ones pulling out like the music and everything like this. This just seems like a cheap knockoff. Even if it's made by a Norwegian director, that's no excuse.
I mean, there's a lot of nostalgia with Tron. Obviously, my age, and you love the original movie, and yeah, you're right. Yeah, to wait this long between movies is just it's crazy. So yeah, if you ask my kids, like they're working out of college, you remember Tron? Tron who? What? So it's it could be a big miss in terms of does anyone care about Tron anymore, right?
Well, people didn't even care about Tron when the previous movie came out, but they were able to make more people care then. Now, I'm not so sure they can even do that. And the reason people cared with the previous movie was very much so because of Daft Punk and the whole experience, what with the 3D and everything, how you really went into a different world. And Daft Punk were part of that experience. Now you just have regular scoring people doing this. Like, there's nothing special here.
I honestly wasn't as impressed with the music at the end. I mean, yeah, it felt like Nine Inch Nails, but I'm sorry, but Nine Inch Nails was very 1990s. Like, yeah, it's in the past, man. I don't know. Like, Daft Punk at least felt like it was a futuristic. And you're right, the color scheme with the blues and the golds, yeah, sure, that might have been more of the time in 2010. So you just kind of shifted a little bit more here. It doesn't need to go on. Like, this full-on red looks so generic. It doesn't feel like Tron outside of the light cycles. And even that looks more like somebody trying to do something like Tron. And I'm not trying to dump on this because I know a lot of people thought that it looked pretty cool at first, and they may be digging on this trailer. And we could be wrong, and the movie could be very cool. But I can't think of a fucking Jared Leto movie I've liked, especially one that he's had any influence on. And I'm the one who
Dream was kind of, okay.
I mean, and I'm the guy who unapologetically said Morbius is glorious, and that's just because it's fucking hilarious.
Right? Like,
Oh, good. Yeah, it would be a Johnny Cage movie if it wasn't so.
Exactly. So yeah, I don't know. I love the Tron franchise. I, like Andre, thought the second film did exactly what it needed to do, but it just unfortunately didn't. It didn't hit with the audience, and honestly, as cool as Tron is and whatnot, like, I just don't think it has the kind of audience to sustain a movie franchise. It's a very niche thing. I mean, maybe as a video game, it would work better at this point. I think maybe that would be a better place for Tron, because even the animated series, I don't think generated enough, interest to keep that going at the time. So, I don't know. What do you guys think out there? Let us know in the chat what you think of Tron. Is it going to be good? Is it not going to be good? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see, because that comes out when? There's another movie that might wind up on somebody's favorite list.
Yeah, so, yeah, just to round that out, do not lock in your favorite lists yet, because there's a lot of cool things coming the rest of the year.
And yes, so our next story is part of the reason why Andre is here. And that is, we have some big breaking news on Judge Dredd. This came down just before the show began. So, Andre, take us through this fucking idiotic decision to bring in Taika Waititi of all fucking people. Where's my fucking Taika Waititi Flash Gordon movie? Why
that's
is
a
this?
question.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Who the hell thought it was a good idea to pair these two up?
Oh, I can tell you, those two. That's basically what's saying here. Because this may read as an announcement, but the fact of the matter is that what this is, it is Taika Waititi and Drew Pearce himself who have found each other and who have independently gone to nab the Judge Dredd rights. And this is them telling Hollywood, we got the rights. You want Judge Dredd? You want him on your streaming service? You got to go through us. We are now the package. So that's why you have the headline here reading Taika Waititi tackling Judge Dredd movie in hot package hitting Hollywood. So who came up with this? Well, Taika Waititi came up with this. And he's hoping that some studio is going to bite and pay him loads of money for Judge Dredd on the condition that he direct it and Drew Pearce write it. Because that's part of the package.
Well, I'm not worried about Drew Pearce so much.
Neither
Taika,
am I.
I'm a little. I mean, he has a stylistic eye, but as long as he's not writing or doesn't have to shape much of the script itself, narratively speaking, and he just shoots what's on the page in his style, could be good. But I mean, I really do wish we had the Carl Urban come back for a sequel.
Well, that's not wholly out of the question, though. I mean, there's nothing to say that he is coming back right now, but that's going to depend entirely on who picks this up. Like, for instance, the Carl Urban movie with came out now 13 years ago, and it has gained a substantial cult following in those 13 years, has it not?
Oh yeah, I mean, it was. I loved watching it when I saw it in theaters.
Yeah, me
And
too.
heck, I was even signed up to the sequel petition. Someone like threw my name in there. I'm like, yeah, that's fine, that's cool. I'll sign a petition for a sequel. Let's get this made. Me and 1,000 other Hollywood writers and directors were all hoping for it.
Yeah, exactly. And I went to London to see it at the very first public screening there was in Leicester Square Garden. So that's how keen I was to see it. But most people didn't see it for many reasons that we actually have broken down in past videos. But still, I believe a significant following has been made for that movie. And let's say that, for instance, someone like Amazon or something picked this up. Why wouldn't they want Carl Urban to be in it? If they say, hey, we'll pick this up, but we demand Carl Urban, that's the one way I can see this happening. But I want to hear what the rest of you guys are saying as well. Nick Weiser, you excited about the prospect of Taika Waititi taking on Dredd, and what do you feel about the Urban movie?
I like the Urban movie. I'm a big fan of it. I've watched it 1,100 times. So some might say I'm kind of a huge fan of it. As far as this going, obviously it's not, out there of who is going to be Dredd. Now I'm in that whole be careful what you wish for, because I've been wanting a follow-up to that particular movie. And even though we don't know if this is or isn't a follow-up, I'm definitely already regretting wishing for that, because it might end up being a follow-up, but in the worst way possible. And I'm sure someone's going to try to throw out a convenient argument. Well, there has been humor in Judge Dredd. Yeah, there has been. That's true. However, let's get real here and challenge that convenient argument someone's going to try to throw in. It wasn't crazy polarizing humor the way Taika Waititi does it. Yes, you could have moments of humor in a lot of these types of stories, and there is a good amount of it. There's actually quite a good chunk of it, but you're still in the intensity and madness of the Dredd story, so it doesn't really pull you out of it the same way that Taika Waititi did with Thor Ragnarok. So that is wholly different. And there's been a lot of movies that have done good on channeling moments of humor in between all the seriousness of stakes in an action movie. So it's not like it can't be done. But Taika Waititi he's the proof of what happens when you let a guy run wild and do dirty on your franchise. And while he got promoted to this position, is really concerning and troubling. Now I'm hoping Carl Urban doesn't take this, even though I know he's been wanting to do a follow-up, and I love that he respected the character so much. But now I'm like, okay, dude, please turn away now. Please turn away now, because this is already looking really bad off the back. And I have said our corner of YouTube, we're starting to take things a little too far with some of the reactions. This one is not an overreaction. Every concern about this one is 100% valid because we have results, we have a point of reference, we have irrefutable proof. This is not the guy, and he's not the guy to show that he's learned anything. Because we all have a past, but he's the type of guy who doesn't, like Ryan Johnson before him, think anything he does is wrong. So, no, I have no interest in a Taika Waititi-led Dredd movie.
Yeah, I mean, all I have to say of this is everything that anybody ever said they were afraid of happening when Gunn took over DC, you better be afraid 10 times over here.
Yes.
Yeah.
You have more recent actual fear. Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to get a trans Dredd before you know it.
Well, I mean, I don't know about that, but I mean that would be weird.
You can say I'm being
that would not be my
hyperbolic,
concern.
But yeah. the thing is, here's the other part too, right? So Taika Waititi does have a flair for the satirical, and Judge Dredd is a great satirical comic book.
Yeah, but they're not the same kind of satire, though. That's the problem. Yeah.
Well, the real problem is actually because script, you're not right there. Because later in this story, Taika does say that he is a fan of the Judge Dredd comics, and I believe him. Problem is, the satire in those comics is all over the place, depending on the writer and the artist and what kind of mood they are in that story.
That's right.
Because, yeah, of course, script, you'll know this, that you have something completely satirical, out of whack, insane. I mean, just kind of like imagine if you let's do a Star Trek analogy. Imagine that you have the very best episodes of Star Trek: The Next Generation, the most high drama, the most significant, and then interspersed between them, you have the worst of the animated Star Trek Lower Decks. And this is all like one continuity, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what the Judge Dredd comics are. There you have some incredible high drama and satire right next to Judge Dredd arresting fucking Satan.
Yeah.
I'm not even joking.
No, he did that. Yeah.
That is that's the variance between stories. So when Taika Waititi says that he's a fan, that scares the shit out of me, because I'm afraid that he's going to be a fan of the wrong stories, the kind of stories that have no business ever being adapted for the big screen or in any way influencing them. I'm not so worried about Drew Pearce. He's going to bring the action. But I'm terrified that Taika Waititi, he's going to bring in the type of like arresting Satan stories. Now, the hope here is that maybe he's smart enough to go with the stories that are on the satirical side, but have enough seriousness that they still can kind of like work. Like, for instance, The Day the Law Died, the one with Judge Cal taking over town and doing completely ridiculous things. The ridiculous things that he does, that's something that would work with Taika Waititi. But even that does not fit with the style that we got established in the movie Dredd with Carl Urban. And that is the way to do Judge Dredd properly, is to completely ignore the most whacked out stories and focus on the ones that deal with democracy versus tyranny, how much personal freedom you are willing to give up, or how much safety you are willing to give up
No, personal freedom
to-
for exchange of safety. Yeah.
Exactly. Thank you. That's
You're
what I
welcome.
meant to say late here. Yes.
It's past midnight for you, sir.
Oh, it's past 2 a.m.
Yeah.
So yeah, and my worry is that Taika Waititi is going to be on the wrong side of that equation.
Yeah, I mean, he Thor Ragnarok on its face was a good movie, but he wrecked World War Hulk and Planet Hulk. You know, made those characters comedic characters, the aliens, and he just took the joke too far. So that success, you know, as Clobber Times always called it, Thor Love and Blunder, just too much of a good thing. You know, it just went too far with the comedy. It kind of wrecked the Marvel. Part of that is the wrecking of the Marvel universe is that snippy humor and the comebacks and everything's got to be a joke, and it just ruined a lot of the movies. And when you go back and really look at Ragnarok, and if you've read the comics that some of the comics it's based on, the character of Meek and all the other aliens on the planet, he just made them all a joke, and it's horrific when you know the source material. So yeah, do I want him anywhere near Judge Dredd? No, I mean, just he hasn't shown that they can produce something serious anymore. So it's just he wrecked Thor, one of my favorite characters. I've been reading that comic for almost 50 years now, and what a disaster. What he did to Thor. Just because Hemsworth has great comedic talents and timing doesn't mean you make Thor the butt of all the jokes. I mean, it's just not encouraging to see this. Like, we could all be wrong in the end, but just not the guy that I want to see anywhere near Judge Dredd.
We all know who's going to play Judge Dredd, really.
Taika Waititi. Oh, oh God.
Yeah. One thing that I'll be very sad to see go are the costumes, because I think that the costumes in the 2012 movie were absolutely perfect. It's going to be very difficult to improve on them, and it's not going to be those costumes no matter what. They don't have to say that it won't be, because we know it won't be, because they are owned by production company DNA, because that was their iteration of the costumes world, everything that was made for that particular movie. So it's going to be a new adaptation of the comics, meaning it has to be at least 25% different from anything that came before. I'm not saying that's a good thing, but that's how it is. So we're looking at a reboot here. Now, anything else, it's too early to say. But Taika has me worried.
Yeah, I have no incentive to see this. I value my life too much to try to give something to this guy. I've given him enough, and outside of his originals, he's not built for a franchise based off established IPs. He's just not. I liked his movie What We Do in the Shadows in his first 2 seasons. After that, it was dropped off after that, but when it's his own stuff, yeah, hey, go nuts, good or bad. But it's clear with properties that are not his, he treats them as if they're his own. He doesn't have a delicate sense of how he handles these things. He just Florida man's and process. Like, everyone come on in, the water's fine, and just do whatever you want.
Yeah.
I think Tom wants you to do super chats.
Yeah, let's do some super chats. So just give me a second to find them behind the scenes here. That's always a good idea. D-Bud Martin wonders for $5. How much lutefisk will Andre have to swallow to get the bad taste of a Waititi Dredd movie out of his mouth? Quite a lot, because lutefisk doesn't really taste anything. That's the trick with it. That's why people don't really like it. It's really quite tasteless. I remember the first time I had lutefisk, it took me like 2-3 days to determine if I liked it or not. And then I figured, I think I hate this. I don't want it again. So yeah. And then Goddess of Whim says for $5, yeah, Taika just lost Akira, thank God. So hopefully he'll lose this too. He also lost the Incal. So yeah, there's hope springs eternal, I guess. And Nelson Chereta says for $2, I loved Dredd and Carl Urban. Dredd 2 Taika? Hell no. Well, if it's a consolation, it's going to be Dredd 3.0 and not Dredd 2. But yeah. And Jason Webster says for $5 Taika Waititi for Judge Dredd, WTF. Why? No, hell no. Say it isn't so, Andre. Well, not yet. Not yet, as you heard. But they are threatening. They are threatening with this. Now we'll know more. Script. When will we know more? They put this out today. When will we know more about who's bitten on this?
We'll probably find out in a month or two to see which studio or which co-production company bit at the offer to finance this partnership here. Because again, he's shopping it around as a package, which means that nobody has put any money towards it yet.
Exactly. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I would think there's a good chance that Amazon might be interested.
They might be. One of the things that I think is a little troubling is that this came through the trades as these two are pitching Hollywood trying to get money for it, which means that whoever they pitched prior to this announcement already said no.
That's a very good point. This is kind of like desperate because they're the obvious sources behind this article.
Exactly. And so far, nobody has. They've definitely made calls. I mean, whenever me and a business partner get rights to something, even if it's very small that nobody's heard of, the first thing we do is we start calling people to see, hey, we got the rights to this. Do you want to co-finance a movie with us to get this made? You do that before you get the announcement because you want the trades to be the announcement of, hey, you secured a deal. This movie's getting made. Come get excited about, next year, this thing's going to be released. It's kind of weird to put out like, hey, we got the rights to this. Does anyone want to give us money to make it?
Yeah, because that means that they would already have contacted Amazon and Netflix, and they both said hell no.
Or they didn't want to go that route. They contacted the more traditional studios, and they said no. And now they're trying to maybe get on the radar for Amazon, Netflix, Apple. Who knows?
Yeah. And then we have Flying Blind on a Rocket Cycle. It says for $5. There's things Taika Waititi would be good for. I don't think this is it. Yeah, I don't think you'll find much disagreement about that.
Yeah, I think he'd be perfect for Flash Gordon. Like I said before,
yeah.
his satirical and visual flair and his type of filmmaking lends itself perfectly if you're going to do a tongue-in-cheek, campy Flash Gordon in the style of the De Laurentiis one, in my opinion. I could be wrong on that, but at least that, look, at this point, who's going to take Flash Gordon seriously? They weren't even taking it seriously in the 70s.
His current comic is one of my favorite monthly books I've been reading. It's been utterly badass.
Maybe I'm wrong.
So, I can't say I'm sold on the property, but I do agree with the idea that there are things he would be good for. But I'm still more so in the light of he would do better to touch his own properties, his own stories, and people could see his ideas for what he is. I mean, it's not the first time that's happened. There are tons of people who I don't like when they, cover something that's more on established lore of anything, but when they do their own independent thing, then I'm like, oh, okay, I can get behind this. So it's not exclusive to Taika Waititi either.
Yeah. Indeed.
Yes. No. I guess that was all. I was gonna say, yeah. I got nothing else. So you want to get the next super chat? I think that Jay Gosling.
Yeah, that's Jay Gosling who says it'll work if he keeps Dredd as the straight man.
Man, that's being kind.
Yeah, I think that there's a little bit more to it than just that, but We'll see what comes of this. And then Soul Nightmare says for $2, Lilo and Stitch officially hit 1 billion. As I said all year that it was going to. That I think Lilo and Stitch probably is going to remain the biggest movie of the year, unless Superman can knock it off. But yeah, 1 billion. Congrats. There was no way it wasn't going to do that because everyone loves Stitch.
Good audience participation for it. Yeah.
Yeah. And never mind the box office. I mean, those Stitch toys are flying off the shelves and everything, and all the other merch. That's where the real money is for Lilo and Stitch merchandise.
Tom and I did say a few weeks back the complaints about that movie was mostly from our particular corner, even though Tom and I saw very differently from others how the supposed issue with the movie was. And look, the people responded, and when I was at my screen with my daughters, that they loved it too, and everyone was going gaga for it.
Yep. Yeah, not surprised. And then finally we have Jason Webster, who wonders what's next. Jane Campion for Justice League?
I don't think so. That's funny.
I think what's that referring to is that Jane Campion for Justice League. Never mind. I was thinking about we got how many leaders for Avengers now all of a sudden. Never mind. I was thinking something else. I'm busy working on something else. I should just shut up.
This is for Creative Force, yeah.
Yeah.
Director,
yep.
And with that, we're actually caught up on the super chat.
Oh, all right.
As far as I can see.
Sounds good. So with that, we did have a bit of good news to go out on. Stephen Colbert's done.
That's right.
Oh, shucks.
No. Hey. Goodbye.
Citing it's a financial decision.
Get rid of the Late Show.
Quotation marks, financial decision.
Well, it means that Worldwide Pants is finding that the show is no longer profitable with regards to advertisers, because that's what finances the show. So not enough people are watching, which means advertisers are getting cheap ads on their show. And it's not enough to sustain it. So they're not going to continue the Late Show, which is weird. But then again, most people haven't watched it since Letterman left. So
right. Most people won't notice it's gone.
But it's not being replaced with anything, obviously, then either. It's dead then, right? They'll just put like Seinfeld reruns on or something or whatever.
Or they'll put Late Show reruns on, like with David Letterman.
With Letterman, yep. You know, I remember watching as a kid, Letterman had a daytime show. I remember watching Dave Letterman in the morning and watching that show. I'm like, this is so funny. And it's just Colbert. It's just, and I think some of these hosts too, I mean, it's the Orange Man Bad stuff. I rarely watch late night TV, and then a couple of times I put it on, it was just like a half hour or more of just bashing Trump the whole time. It's like, can't you tell some other jokes? I mean, I know he's obviously in the news, but it's like, just there's all such one note, and they've lost their sense of humor. It's just nothing, you can see people are, cable TV and TV in general.
Well, that's because you got a whole generation of comedians that think that fuck Trump is a punchline.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty sad.
It's like, man, the economy sucks. Fuck Trump.
Called preaching to the converted there. That's what that is.
Well, it's easy to laugh when you got a thing that flashes laugh.
Yeah.
And you also have a guy that shows with his hands, laugh now, and like threatening the audience. So, yeah.
Please laugh.
Please laugh, yeah.
The Jeb Bush of late night talk shows.
The Flying Blind says, canceled? Oh, dear. Yeah. Let's hear the crowd's reaction to that.
Probably one guy in the chat is disappointed, and that's it.
I don't know if one guy in our chat is disappointed. That's giving Colbert too much credit there, Nick.
No, they're probably still more disappointed by the fact that the Colbert Report, which was legitimately funny before the writer's strike, never came back.
Yeah.
What's sad is that probably had better ratings.
Yeah, it did on Comedy Central.
That's the other problem is who watches terrestrial TV really? They almost make it impossible.
No.
We've talked about this, yeah. Unless you have cable anymore, it's nearly impossible. And then Deadman says, Andre, a lot of people are talking about your Superman international box office video. Well, I think once the numbers start coming out, we'll see how it rolls. But
Yeah, we'll do an update when we have more numbers.
Yeah, there was a weird thing going on yesterday and today with the international reporting. So I guess
yeah, because there has been like no reporting for a week, and then the numbers changed their number, but it didn't add up, and then they changed it back. So I don't know what's going on.
But that's a great point too. Europe, as Andre said, Europe's on vacation. I mean, we had friends from visiting, and one of the young kids was like, "Well, when you get out of college, how many weeks vacation do you get here? Do you get 6 or 8 weeks in America when you start?" We're like, maybe 2 weeks if you're lucky. But yeah,
like if you get a week, yeah.
But I mean, August isn't Europe basically shut down? I mean, in July.
Oh well, it depends on where in Europe. Basically, between June and late August, you're not going to get much done in Europe.
It was like, well, I just watched Deadpool and Wolverine again over the weekend because Superman inspired me to, and I love the bit where he's, what is it, the Danes he's talking about? It's like, lovely people. They take every other week off. He's close to that whole
thing. Yeah, like for instance, Norway, my country is completely shut down for like 6 weeks in summer.
Well,
totally shut down.
Jurassic World has already made $300+ million internationally. So granted, I know it's Jurassic Park and they always make money over there, but still, I don't think that's a case of people are just going to movies out that way. Because if they weren't going to movies, they wouldn't be going to all the other movies. They wouldn't just
exactly. That's the point that was never
really, really hate it, or there was just a lack of interest. But I think it's just simpler than that. I mean, Andre said it in his video. I think the market is just not as responsive to these type of movies, especially in the current economy that superhero comic book movies are in. I think they have an uphill battle that no matter what they do, they need to really focus on getting an audience in the US and a little bit in the international market, and eventually people will respond a little bit more enthusiastically through time. It's not going to be a right away thing. That's kind of how things are generally, period. Like when you lose audiences with things, it's hard to get people back, and you're hoping, okay, if some people might come back, but it'll never be what it once was. The hope that they can try to get for all this is, well, it was a different generation when the Avengers were firing on all cylinders. Now a whole other decade of potential audience can come in. Maybe we can get that next generation in. So that's what they got to try to lean in if they play it smart. And I'll tell you what, man, youngsters are taking a liking to crypto. That's for sure.
I guess the toys are selling really well. In fact, I just read where the Jurassic World and Superman toys are flying off the shelves. So.
Oh, yeah. The toys are being talked about, and the movie is actually starting, as I mentioned Tuesday at my workplace, filled with normies. It is garnering more and more discussion. And I noticed the interest has been more so actually in younger people who want to see it. The older people, they're not looking at it from the Gunn or Snyder lenses. They're just looking at it as, another
it's a
Superman
fun movie. Yeah.
Yeah, they're just seeing it as another movie, Hollywood.
Yeah. But kids, I think, are seeing it as the fun movie that is.
Yeah, they're just seeing it as, hey, it looks like a fun movie. Mom, Dad, can I go and see that? And you know what? That's all it takes is that to work at Tron. Before you know it, that's 3, 4, 5 family members, and that adds up fast with cash.
Stuff to watch says they have crypto toys. Really, dude.
Yeah. Are you? I was gonna say.
Are you kidding? Like crypto is all. They even tell us again what you had to go through to get the crypto plushies from AMC. What is it? AMC? You said.
Regal's doing them. I can't. Regal. It was. Yeah, we had there. I think there was less than 10 left when I got them Thursday morning.
Wow.
I went there right when they opened, and they had less than 10 left, and I got 2 of them for my oldest and my youngest, and they love them. And when they let me know, hey, Dad, look, there's a big crypto Squishmallow. Can we get it? I'm like, I guess we gotta get the Squishmallow too.
Almighty.
So,
how much did this movie cost you, Nick?
On the crypto, huh?
Yeah, right. Like Nick has spent more on this movie than I have.
So crypto, of course, they're gonna lean on that. Why wouldn't they? They're gonna play.
He's avoiding the question, Mark.
$200.
My kids will be eating macaroni and cheese for the rest of the year, but they're happy. Damn it, they got their crypto.
Oh, what they have for? Actually, I made them.
I'm kidding.
Burgers.
Yeah, see, I was waiting for you to say beefaroni. No,
Dad, why do we have Domino's again?
Oh,
Yeah.
I will not eat Domino's. I have more self-respect.
He's got more self-respect than that. And then I gotta do the whole Deadpool quote because I'm more of a 1 week on 1 week off kind of guy. I think that's the way they do it in Denmark. You'll never see a Danish flag on the moon, but god damn it, they're happy.
Yeah. This is true. You will not see a Danish flag on the moon, nor a Swedish or Norwegian. But yeah.
Yeah, and then Action Cop says Stephen Colbert's career started as a subtle protest against the Iraq-Afghan wars, and it ended with those wars. Times have changed. Oh, I miss the days when the Daily Show and the Colbert Report were actually nice, balanced kind of news, and it just turned, even though it was satire, they poked fun at both sides equally. At least it felt like back then.
Oh no, they went back and forth. I mean, I knew a bunch of the writers that are on that show, and some of them were conservative comedians, and some of them were liberal comedians, at least the more traditional versions of them.
Right.
And they loved, they would lambast CNN more harshly than they would Fox. But Fox would be the only ones that would send their people to actually be interviewed on the show. CNN would always be hesitant. And then when Trevor Noah took over, the entire writers room changed. Everything changed. When he left and Jon Stewart came back, I think he's doing 1 day a week now. He's got some of his writing team there. And I've seen a couple of clips where he actually does start calling out people on, his side for ineptitude. So there's a little bit there, but I do know on his own podcast, he's got his own little thing going on there, as most people do. But he's one of the few comedians I know that when he talks about supporting veterans, he actually puts his money and his actions where they are, as opposed to just trying to, jive up an audience. So, he's not a perfect guy, but I'd take him a little bit more as for entertainment purposes than it would Colbert or Trevor Noah or even some of the other co-hosts that pop in there, like Ronnie Chang. I didn't like Ronnie Chang.
Well, that one guy, he was the one who should have got the show anyway. The British dude.
John Oliver?
Yeah, no, not John Oliver. I don't like him either. The other guy who was on the show after Leno, because they could never find a fill-in, but he was the one who stayed the longest, and he had, God, what the fuck was his name? For some reason, I'm drawing a complete blank now. I know it. As soon as I see his name.
Not Conan O'Brien.
No. It was after that time. They couldn't find anybody for the longest time to fill in after, or Letterman. I meant not Leno. After Letterman and Craig Ferguson. That's what I was thinking. Thank you,
Craig
Brian.
Ferguson.
Okay. Yes, he should have been the guy they moved into the next.
Great,
yeah, he was the
Late
most
Show.
likable.
Yeah, he should have been.
Yes.
He was expecting to, and then Comedy Central and CBS, because Comedy Central is a subsidiary of CBS, said they wanted someone with more name recognition, and they're willing to get rid of the Colbert Report and replace it with.
Is he Scottish? I'm sorry. Yeah,
he's Scottish. They replaced it with that other guy, the black comedian who had his own thing, which is unfortunate because then there was another guy. Oh God, who was he? Who I thought would have been great, but I'd have to take a quick look to see.
Yeah, and Ferguson, he was a lot like Letterman as far as their styles, but he wasn't as grating, I think, as Letterman on some people. Because my dad was one of those people who's never a big fan of Letterman, so I understand. But he didn't mind Ferguson, so. I mean, I'm like, Dad, they're almost exactly the same. Same kind of bits and everything, but he's like, I don't know, I just don't like Letterman. But anyhow, Jason Webster says, takes a certain personality to make late night shows and similar work. Johnny Carson, Craig Ferguson. Well, there you go. If I'd have read this, I'd have remembered his name.
Roy Wood Jr. would have been a great co-host, a great new host for Daily Show than Trevor Noah.
Yeah. Conan O'Brien and Don Lane and Mike Walsh in Australia. There you go. What were you going to say, Nick?
Andre has to go.
Oh. Yeah, we're going to get out of here. This is the last super chat. Deadman says, I came across a guy who claimed Midnight Said uses fake sources. When I pressed them to show me the fake sources, they couldn't provide it. Yeah, because we don't.
Yeah, exactly.
In fact, we sit on a lot of stuff unless we have something to usually go with it. Trust me, because we get yelled at by a lot of folks, even
You're not a reactionary channel. You're not replying just to have a response. You try to reply with something to bring details and nuance to conversation. And I think that's what helps make you guys stand out.
In fact, I got 2 videos to finish up right now. So, and Andre's going to slip out, and I don't know how much longer you got, Andre. I'm almost done with the first one. So,
yeah, well, then there's going to be a video that's going to drop real soon here.
Hopefully. And then Nick, what do you got coming up? You go ahead and slip out whenever you need to, Andre.
Let's see here. I'll be on TNT. As for what else I got coming out, Talk Tuesday. They'll be taking their summer 3 weeks off, but we'll be back with lots of Charles Bronson coming up, so that'll be cool. But until then, Clawby's Comic Shop is now starting on Saturdays, 6 p.m. Central, which should be absolutely killer. And of course, as far as videos, I'll figure that out when I cross that bridge. But for now, as far as videos are concerned, I've been focusing on the Bonded by Metal channel with me, that 70s rock fan, and a few other guys. We got 2 videos already out, and if you're looking for something else outside of the pop culture realm, that channel should serve you very well. We did a video that's been received well called 3 Albums You Hate from Bands You Love. So do catch that, and a lot more is on the way on that channel. I mean, diabolically a lot more. So please come check out both channels, and hopefully you'll find something you like. Thanks for having me. It's good show to be on tonight, and good to have Script and Mark here for the ride as well.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Mark, what do you got coming up?
Well, later tonight I'll be playing some Sea of Thieves, streaming that game, pillaging and pirating. And then Friday night, late night Fortnite, hanging out, playing that classic game, fun hangout there, Fortnite. And then, of course, Sunday Night Geekery, the main show of the week. It was great to have Script on there for the first time, I think. Last Sunday, we had a lot of fun talking Superman. I guess we'll see what we figure out to talk about this week. But there's
because I haven't hung out with you on a channel outside of this one since Klobby's day way back then. That's
probably
hang out again. Yeah, I was just glad I had the time too.
Yeah, you never know when it works out, right? So
yeah,
you being there. Yep. And I'm gonna print. Well, of course, Fantastic Four's coming out, so I can't spend $80 on a freaking Galactus helmet. So I found a 3D print online that I can buy. I got a 3D print the Galactus helmet and then throw some popcorn in there. It has, you can either use as a regular helmet or as a popcorn bucket. So
it's probably safer plastic than what you get from the popcorn bucket,
right? And the paint job looks horrible on that popcorn bucket too. Mm-hmm. So do something better. So yeah, I'll have that coming out soon. But yeah, great to be on tonight and hang out with you guys. A lot of fun.
Awesome. Script, you got scripts on Saturdays. Anything else?
I think I'll be joining Quantum Leap Revisited on Price of Reason's live channel. So if you want to follow us over there, I think he's going live tonight. I'm not sure, but I hope to, because it's we're finishing off the trilogy series of episodes on Quantum Leap Revisited. So that'll be a fun conversation.
Nice.
Awesome sauce. All right. And with that, I will be trying to finish up these videos, so I don't know if I'll be on TNT tonight, but check those guys out to see what they're talking about over there, because they always argue about something and say something about, comics being short and all that business. So with that, take care of yourselves and each other, and we will see you on the Sunday tier show. I think we're going to do, this week we're going to do, what was I going to do? Something to do with the MCU, because we got Fantastic Four coming up. I think we're going to do the MCU. So,
did we already do the MCU?
Did we do the
MCU? Maybe.
Are you sure? We did the pre-MCU Marvel movies.
Yeah, we didn't do the the non-MCU.
No, we did the pre-MCU Marvel movies.
And
we haven't done the actual
thought we
MCU.
Did the regular MCU. If I'm wrong, I apologize.
I thought you did the pre ones. I think maybe I was jumped on that one for you. Did like.
Because I think we were saving the main
Blade.
I think we were saving it for this.
What do you got? Like 30? Are you doing 35, or are you counting Deadpool and Wolverine as the 36?
We'll probably do that as a third. I'll count that in there because it does tie into the Marvel films.
Well, I do have Klobby's list ranked that I'll share with you.
Oh,
from
cool.
when you did that show, so you have his worst first list, so you could throw his rankings in there too.
Yeah,
because of course I have a spreadsheet for everything, and I have a spreadsheet.
You do, don't you?
Yes, I do. So I have a spreadsheet.
There's no making Flash happy with my list. It's either everything is it's too high or too low, so it don't matter. It's
why does he come on here and challenge the argument?
Because he says I'm busy.
Come on, Flash. Come on.
He's sitting in the chat listening to us, but he's busy.
He's busy. Well, hey, if I see you in Chirac next year, you'll have to argue with me about movies on. Of course, on the ones we don't agree on. Of course, there'll be ones we do. He liked the Mortal Kombat 2 trailer too, so I guess we can't fight there because we both agree on the trailer.
Yeah, I'm
But
looking forward to
whatever.
that. I'm glad they kind of seems like they kind of got their shit together on this one a little bit more. Because I mean, I liked the first one, but I understood most people's gripes with it. So, all right, let's get out of here then. Take care of yourselves and each other, and
Cute kitty.
available now for the first time ever on DVD from Midnight's Edge After Dark Productions. It's My Two Dads, the complete first season starring Mexican Iron Man Tom Connors and Culture Casino. Available now for $19.99 while supplies last.